Hello, everybody. Mr. Maxidom One. I'm just doing a different camera angle for my new vlog. Um, my bike's acting up, so I figured, just do this and run around where I live. But the topic I want to talk to you today about is when do you know and what to upgrade your next bike to? So let's say you're a new rider and you don't know what to choose, so you decide to choose a 250. Well, and for the record, this is all my opinions and thoughts. So don't hate on me or anything like that, because I mean, like I said, these are my thoughts and opinions. Um. So all right. So you start off with a 250. Depending on how much you ride, you should only ride a 250 between 6 months and a year, depending on how you ride. And what I mean by that is that if you ride 2 or 3 hours a day every day for 6 months, then you should be able to ride and upgrade to another bike. Now, on the other hand, if you ride a 250 and you ride like once a day for 3 hours, once a day a week, 1 day a week, you're probably not going to have enough experience to upgrade, because you got to get used to the clutch, feel for the bike, leaning, and they're just, I mean, it's up to you whether or not you're ready to upgrade yet. But so there's that. Now, if now if you want to, now when you go to upgrade from a 250, now do you want to do a 600, a 750, 1000? Now that's all up to you, but you really should go your next step up. Maybe like a 600, maybe a 750 at the most. But now, if you decide to start on a 600, that is going to be a little different. That is going to depend more on your experience, again, your size and weight, because I'm a big guy. I'm 5'11". Now I'm starting on a Gixxer 600 as my first bike, and a 250 is just way too small and didn't have enough power. So that's why I started on a 600. I've had my 600 for over 4 years. But let's go ahead and talk about that, 600. So a 600, you're going to want to have for at least a year. And I'm not talking just riding season. I'm talking, all together, like say your riding season's 6 months out of the year, and ride it for that season and next season. That'll be classified as a year. Now, for me, I ride year round. I might go for maybe two weeks, maybe a month, 2 months at the most without riding, because of like the snow underground or whatever. But as far as starting off on a 600, there's a lot more skill and experience needed before you move off a 600, such as, well, if you moved up from a 250, you don't need to worry about the throttle control as much. But when you get on a 600, you need to ease yourself into the power. Don't try to just your first day on it, try to sit there and give all the power you got. You're bound to do something wrong. Now, another thing you need to experience is, whether it's a 250 or 600, is gravel on the road, going down gravel road. You need to know what to do in that situation and not hit your front brakes and only using your rear. Not following so close to people and dodging the cars. What else can I say? Okay, for instance, Now, since I started on a 600, mine's a Gixxer 600, I've got a power mode. So when I first started riding it, I put it on the lowest settings that there was, to where I got good fuel economy but low power. And I started, going the speed limit and then easing myself and then leaning into turns, learning how to ride on gravel. Yes, I've made mistakes. I have been down, but that's part of learning. And when I ride with my friends locally here and they run on 1000s, I do not try to keep up with them. First of all, they have a more powerful bike. They're going to outrun me. Second of all, they got more experience than I do. So I stay within my comfort zone. And yes, I am ready to upgrade my bike, but I'm not giving up my bike that I have now, if that makes sense to you all. And like I said, I've been riding this bike for over 4 years. Now, I have seen people run a 600 for a year and move on. No big deal. I've heard people start off on a 1000. As long as you don't get stupid and use that throttle and, go to speed limit and not be crazy about it, that's okay. But there's a lot of people out there that they move too far ahead than what they're ready for. And sometimes that gets them into situations they're not ready for. Even the more experienced riders are still going down, either because of malfunction with the bike, because of lack of maintaining the bike, or because they weren't paying attention to what they were doing and they caught loose gravel or some other reason. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this topic is I'm not pointing fingers. I don't know if this person watches my videos. I don't care. I'm not mentioning his name. But I do know there's some riders out there that have just started riding the beginning of this year. And they started off on a 600. So that means they've only been riding for a few months. Now, I don't know if they ride every day. I don't know how often they ride. But they're talking about, I want to lean more, or I'm ready to upgrade, and this and that. Well, I don't believe they're ready. That is my full opinion. Because that's the thing. You don't just start off on a 600 and then expect to lean like some of these people that's more experienced. You have to ease your way into it and get the feel for it and everything like that, and comfortable. But anyway, back to the subject. He's talking about already selling his bike and next year jumping to a 1000. That is a big jump, and like I said, I believe he is not ready for it because he has not ridden a 600 long enough. Now, he did ride with me on the 74 Seabass Memorial Day ride. Now, as far as I could tell, he wasn't doing bad. He was keeping up with everybody. He wasn't speeding. He wasn't doing anything wrong. But like I said, he's only been riding the 600 for a few months. That, to me, is that he's pushing himself too fast, too soon. Now, if you agree, please comment down below and let me know. I'm not saying you have to be on a 600 for 4 years. I would say at least, if you ride your bike every day, just, maybe to and from work every day or something, as long as you're riding it, I should at least a minimum of 1 year. That's my opinion. Don't go out here and buy a 600, ride it for 2 months, and barely ride it and say, I've only rode it a couple times. This thing don't have enough power, and I'm ready for a 1000. That's not it. That's not what you do. You need to experience that bike a lot more. Now with the 250, it's a completely different story. That is just to get you into the fundamentals of how to ride a bike. You know, leaning, clutch control, and, you know, just getting the feel for the bike. Now, on the other hand, if you've ridden dirt bikes and then you want to start on a, you know, a street bike, well, then you already know the fundamentals mostly of how to ride a bike. Clutch control, going over objects, but you don't know the leaning perspective. Now, depending on what you're looking for, I would say start on, you know, if you're into cruisers, get a cruiser that is at least a 750 and above, because you've already got the experience that you would need. Now, if you're going to a sport bike, then I would say at least a 600. You don't want to start down on a 250. But that is my perspective on this matter. And I know there's a couple other people that's already done vlogs about this, but like I said, this is my thoughts and opinions, and I just want to get them out there. But yeah, definitely comment down below and let me know if I'm crazy or not about this person starting on a 600, only riding it for only a few months, and all of a sudden wants to jump to a 1000. And if I'm crazy and you know, whatever. So I'm going to let you all off with that. I want you all to like, if you like this video, and if you have not yet hit the forever like button, it is greatly appreciated. I'm not asking you that you have to hit it. Hit it if you want to keep updated with my videos and my vlogs and stuff. And like I said, this is a different camera angle, and I'm not going very far around town, so have a good one, guys. Peace.